Hello and welcome to ReviewGameZone.com. Today I'm just going to be going over with you how you go about and use the Track Students feature on the website, which will allow you to generate and collect statistical information on how your students do during gameplay. So the first thing you need to do is log into your account like I've already done. Over on the left hand side you're going to see a little tab that says Track Students. You're going to click on that. To use this part of the site, there's some extra information you do need to agree with. The one big piece of information we are asking you to look at is no information from children under the age of 13. So if after you go through and read all this and you are not going to be collecting information from children under the age of 13, quickly select Accept Terms, and then you'll be brought to this screen right here. On this screen, you'll notice your teacher ID. Your teacher ID will be located up here, and in this particular case the ID is going to be 23348, and this is the number that you're going to want to give to your students and basically have them write down or put it up on the smartboard or actually photocopy and give it to them, because they're going to need this during gameplay in order to actually have their results collected. So what I'm going to do is very quickly show you how this might work for a student. So I have a game brought up here very quickly. The game title is Demo with Just Text. The tracking feature works with all of the games here. So I'm just going to scroll down here and take a look over at Question Quiz. Just kind of speed things up a little bit. This is the one we're going to be using. So as you can see, the game loads. There are two options on the screen. You can either hit Start or Track My Progress. If you hit Start, the gameplay will play as normal and no results will be collected. If you actually select Track My Progress, you'll be brought to another screen. At this other screen, you can very simply go through and log in with some information. So your student will go through, put down their first name, last name, as well as the teacher ID number that you had given them earlier today. Okay, so for this example, I'm going to enter the first name of Brooke, and the last name will be Smith. And I'm going to enter down that number that was assigned to us earlier, which was 23348, and then I'm going to hit play. So I'm going to very quickly just go through here and answer this. As I'm going through here, if the student gets the answer correct, you can actually see that the answer lights up green, and if they get it incorrect, you can actually see the correct answer is highlighted for them. So cats, in fact, cannot fly, birds can. So we're going to revisit this in a few minutes here and see what happens when they do get a question wrong. You can actually go back and double check this. So again, I'm going to do this very quickly for us here so we can get an idea of how the system works. And so this is what your students would be doing. The students would actually be playing. That they actually received a score of 90%. If they click play again, they can play the same game again, or they can go back to the home page and play other games. So what I'm going to do very quickly is minimize this window here, which will bring me back to my student results. Now, since I just did this, I need to click the refresh button up top, and I can see the data from that game was put into here. So right now I can see that Brooke Smith got a 9 out of 10, and she played one time, and this shows us the last time that she played. So if you go ahead and click on the first name of the student, what you can see is all the games that they played. If you go through here and click on the test ID, the test ID will show you the questions that were actually within that particular game. So these were the questions that we just saw. If you click on the test results, you can actually see how they did in that particular test. We can see that they tried each question just once down here, and we can see that they actually got the one question wrong before, which was these animals can fly. If you remember correctly, I believe I selected cats, and the correct answer was birds. So as you're going through here looking at this here, if you actually click on this, you can actually see the correct answer. So if you want to know how your students are getting, what they're getting wrong, and you want to see what the correct answer is, just simply click on that particular question. So again, up here the question was 1 plus 1. Click on that, you can see the answer is actually 2. So going back here, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to simulate several students in the computer lab, and I'm going to go ahead and load some more data into this part right now. So what I have added is I've actually simulated several students in the computer lab playing several games. So now you can see here that I have 5 students that actually played games. We have Chris Foster, Jill Glover, Mike Jenkins, Brooke Smith, and Mike Willis. This category here is going to be aligned based upon the last name, where you have A down here and then it would go down to Z here. Again, as previously, if you actually click on a particular student, you can get the information. So let's go back to Brooke Smith, and we can actually look at a couple things here. So since last time we revisited Brooke Smith, you can see that Brooke Smith actually went through and played game 79 3 times. And overall, on that, she received a 27 out of 30, which works out to be a 90%. So if we go ahead and click on this here, we can actually see all her results for that particular question. So we can see that initially she struggled with these last 3 questions here. However, throughout the entire test, she had no problem with these up here. So if I was Brooke Smith, I'd be able to, I want to focus my studying down here because I made some mistakes, while up here, I obviously know those answers. Back to the other screen here. We can then go back and bring up other students as well. You can do the same thing, bring up Jill Glover, and you can see what game she played as well as her results. So again, clicking on the first name in the student results will show you all the games that they played. Now if you're on this page here, if you go ahead and click the overall, so I can see right here, Brooke Smith, again, is the example we're using. Overall, she played 5 total games on the website, and she received a 70% overall, which worked out to be a 35 over 50. So I can actually see how she did on all of her questions by simply clicking there, and this will bring up all the questions that Brooke attempted to answer. These are going to be sorted with the best result on top and the poorest results down the bottom. So I can actually see down here that Brooke Smith really did struggle with all these questions down here. And again, if you remember earlier, if you simply click on the question, the answer will pop up. So let's back up to our other page here. And again, this will work for any of the students that are here. I also like to draw to your attention the delete button. So let's say you want to go through and you want to let a student start over. Simply click the delete button and that will remove all that particular student's data. Also, if you click delete all students, that will remove all the student data and allow you to start fresh. Over here on the left, again, we've been looking at the student results section. Now let's click on the test results section. If you click on that, you're going to be brought to this screen. So out of all those games played by my students, I can see that they focused on these 3 games here because this is the games that I wanted them to play. They worked on the demo with just text, sample questions, and here is another demo. So again, if you click on this here, this will actually go through and show you the questions within the game, and you can actually see how each student actually did. So by clicking on that ID number, I can see exactly how they did for test 79. So if you look over here, we can see that Brooke Smith got 90%, Mike Jenkins got an 80%, Jill Glover got 80, Chris Foster got a 70, and Mike Willis got a 65. Again, on this screen, if you go ahead and click here, you can actually go through and see their results for the individual questions. I'll just give us a second to boot up there so you can actually see how they actually did. So back to this page over here. And now if you click over here, this will actually show you the overall question result. Now this is very powerful in the sense that these are the 10 questions that the student saw. I can see as a teacher that clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, these top 5 here my students know, so I'm not concerned. But if you look down here, I can see that these bottom 2 here, only 38% of my students were able to answer correctly. And that's an area of concern for me. So I'd want to go back and actually reteach this. So this is actually a very powerful feature right here, which really allows you to see what your students know and what your students don't know. Again, over here with the sample questions, if you click on this, you'll be able to see what each student did, as well as the number of times they played. And if you go over here and click on this, this will show you the results for all the questions. Again, they did very well here, they did okay here, and not so well down here. The next tab I want to bring your attention to is the question results tab. If you click on the question results tab, this will show you every question that your student has attempted, that all your students have attempted. So you can see right here that I had 8 out of 8 correct with this question about stop signs. And if you scroll down here, I can see which questions my students struggled with, where only 25% of them were able to get the answers correct. Again, the more data you generate, the more accurate this will be. For this particular example, these numbers are only based upon 4. The more data you have, the more accurate you'll be able to actually see what you'd really need to go back and study with. If you do ever have any questions here, you can simply click on the help button here, and this will give you an overview of the statistics information here, and basically allow you guys to go through and just see a little bit more of what you guys need to clear up here. So I hope this YouTube video was helpful to you. If you guys ever do have any questions about anything here, you can go to any page down at the bottom, the contact button here, or open a ticket, and someone from our customer service team will get back to you very quickly and hopefully help you out.